So we start with the chapter Animal Kingdom. Now under Animal Kingdom, we are learning the major phylum, okay, of the animal kingdom. We have the first one, Porifera. Porifera. Second is Cnidaria, CN. Ctenophora, which I've written here, CT. Then there is Platyhelminths, Aschelminths, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata. Okay, so basically what we are learning is this entire animal kingdom. Okay, first let's start with the animal kingdom and the two major divisions. So under animal kingdom, we are learning the invertebrates. Okay, so we are learning the two major groups. First is the invertebrates. Okay, and the second group that we are learning is chordates. Under chordates will be protochordates, and vertebrata and vertebrates. Okay. Under invertebrates, this is also called as non-chordata. Non-chordates. Okay. So under invertebrates or non-chordates, we are learning all these phylums. So basically from Porifera. So we start with phylum Porifera till Hemichordates. Okay, till Hemichordates. They all belong to invertebrates. Okay, or the invertebrata. So this Porifera up to Hemichordates. This is invertebrata or the non-chordates. Next, we'll be learning about chordates. So under chordates, there are two groups, protochordates and vertebrates. All right, we'll come to this later. So coming to invertebrata, as I told you, so this basically what we are learning is group invertebrata. Or the non-chordates. Now I will be discussing what is this chordate, okay? All of this, what's the meaning of invertebrata, chordates, all of this will be dealt with. Okay, so under animal kingdom, as I told you, there are two major groups here, invertebrata and the chordates. We are learning first the invertebrates. Okay, so first we are going to be learning about the general characteristics and then we'll come to each of these phylum. So coming to the first characteristics, what we are learning is level of organization. So under level of organization, there are four levels: cellular, tissue, organ level, organ system. Now, if you see Porifera, the first phylum, they are basically are only cellular. That means they are cells arranged as a loose, they're all arranged as loose aggregates. Okay, so this is cellular. Tissue level would be wherein cells are arranged into tissues. I told you many cells come together and give you a tissue layer. So Cnidaria and Ctenophora, okay, they basically have tissue level of organization. Organ level will be tissues come together and give you an organ, correct? Tissues are arranged into organs. So platyhelminths, we start with platyhelminths onwards, they have organ level. Then many organs together which have association with each other, right? And then they perform a physiological function. That's an organ system. All right. So organ system will be from all higher organisms have organ system. So first note this down. So Porifera to start with has cellular organization. The middle two, Cnidaria and Ctenophora, will have tissue level. Platy are the first one to have an organ level, and as Aschelminths onwards, till chordates will have organ system. Okay, so we come to the second characteristics, which is symmetry. Now, this is the arrangement of similar body parts on the two sides of the main axis. All right, so basically, if you look at this human being here, you can divide the body into two equal halves, correct? Now, based on that, what we have is asymmetry. Asymmetry is when the body cannot be divided. Asymmetry is when the body cannot be divided into two equal halves, right? So most of the poriferans, okay, and as well as a snail will be mollusca. Okay, so poriferans, and when they say snail here, they mean to say mollusks. Their body cannot be divided into two equal halves, correct? Well, what is symmetrical? Symmetrical is when the body can be divided into two equal halves. So asymmetrical, symmetrical is what you need to know. So basically across the entire phylum, you will have to know which species is symmetrical, which is asymmetrical. All right. So this is a very simple point. Now come to this. I hope I told you, okay, the body of a bilaterally symmetrical animal, any animal or, okay, which is bilateral symmetrical. Now what is bilateral? When you can divide the body into two equal halves, okay, that's going to be bilateral symmetry. Now look at this picture here. You can divide this particular insect into two equal halves, correct? So one plane is dividing this insect into two equal halves. Whereas sponge, okay, sponge is nothing but porifera. You cannot divide the body into two equal halves. Okay, so based on body symmetry, okay, asymmetrical, I already told you, wherein the body cannot be divided into two equal halves, right? So maximum sponges, most of the sponge. So when I say sponge, that means under asymmetry, you will have porifera, okay? So asymmetrical will be porifera. The first phylum, correct? Under this example is sponge. Second, when I speak of radial symmetry, radial, as I told you, along the radii, you can cut the animal, okay, or the organism into two equal halves. So under radial, okay, you have examples are given here, coelenterate, ctenophora, and echinoderms. So this is coelenterate. Now coelenterate is also called as cnidaria, okay. This is also called as cnidaria. Next example is ctenophores. So this is second phylum, this is third phylum. Ctenophores. And this is echinoderms. Echinoderms are basically starfish. And the third one will be bilateral symmetrical. So bilateral annelids, arthropods, chordates. So basically most of the higher animals are bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, the next property now is with regards to the digestive system. Okay, two types of digestive system. One is open, one is incomplete, one is complete. So when I say incomplete, what do you mean by incomplete? Incomplete is which means there is just one opening. Can you see here? Just Hydra, for example, has only one opening. This acts like the mouth and the anus. All right. Even this is a flatworm. What you see is a flatworm, which means platyhelminths. This flatworm, okay, this also has basically, okay, a blind sac. So it's a digestive tract, okay. This is not complete. So they have incomplete digestive system, which means that they have just one opening, one single opening. And that single opening acts like a mouth and the anus. What is complete? Complete is, for example, if you look at this roundworm, this will have a mouth and an anus. So when you have a mouth and an anus, which means two openings, in that case, it is complete. Note down. So based on the circulatory system, we have two types, open and closed. Now, what is a closed circulatory system? All higher organisms have a closed circulatory system. All higher organisms. Okay, now what is this closed circulatory system? Closed is wherein, I hope you all know that, the heart pumps oxygenated blood to the tissues, correct? Now, how does it pump oxygenated blood, oxygen-rich blood to the tissues? It goes via the tubular system. And what are those tubules? You have the arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Via that, it reaches the tissue, correct? Now, from the tissue, all the deoxygenated blood is again going to be pumped back to the heart. So you have deoxygenated blood, which means carbon dioxide rich blood. So this is deoxygenated blood. This also comes via the veins, okay, the capillaries. So this system is a closed system. And what is an open system? Open system basically is wherein the organs are directly bathing in blood. You don't have this tubular system. So open is wherein the, okay, you have the organs or the tissues which are directly bathing in blood. So oxygen reaches the tissue just by diffusion and not by a tubular system.